Hello everybody, this is RockHound, and welcome back to episode 56 of our Minecraft Let's Play. Now, last time we finished up working on that little butcher shop over there. Since then, I haven't done much. I've moved the little pig pen over next to the building here. I figured that was a good place for it. And I've been thinking about what the next building we're going to put in our little village is going to be. And I thought right here, at this little crossroads area, next to the butcher shop would be a nice place for our village blacksmith. And so I've had a couple thoughts about the design. I just laid out something here. And what I'm thinking is I'd like to continue this design style of having the shop area and the work area down here on the bottom floor, and a top floor for the owner of the shop to live in. So what I've got laid out here, I'm thinking, is a little blacksmith workshop area on this side. This is the kind of shop area where he sells his wares, and upstairs will be where he and his family live. And I've just grabbed a couple resources. I'm not set on a design for this building. I grabbed these spruce logs, and since I've got them here, I thought, well, let's try another timber frame style building, kind of like what we've done here and with the other buildings, but maybe with stone in the walls, because we're kind of going with a stone theme lately, and we've got a kind of signature building style going on there. So let's get started and just see what we end up with. I'm not really sure what this will look like when we finish up, but let's give it a shot and see what we come up with. Now, I think I've spaced these all out oddly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, except for this one. I left this even on purpose because I was thinking a double door might be nice in the front of this shop, but this one should be an odd number. And since it is, let's go ahead and put another beam right there. Now, I'm not sure how far do we want to go up here. This will be that even one, and we'll leave it open for now. I'm not sure if I want to divide it up at all, or perhaps probably put a window in there, actually. So let's leave the rest of these as they are. In fact, if we're going to do that, let's take this one out too. Told you I didn't have a plan. But let's I'm all over the place today. All right. So this is going to be the front. Let's go ahead and get it figured out. If we go up 3 on that, so this will be the floor level. What shovel do I have? Silk touch. Efficiency 4, unbreaking 3. That works. A little too well. And I obviously still have some comparators and stuff in my hotbar there from working on that butcher shop. And one of the key features I want to implement with this blacksmith shop is some kind of automation using the 1.5 stuff. So let's assume the floor is going to be cobblestone. You want a nice stone floor in a blacksmith shop. You don't want any kind of fire hazard. Although I don't know if I've said this in my Let's Play series before, but I've actually done a lot of blacksmithing in real life. I've been a blacksmith for several years. I don't have my shop set up right now because I have kids and they kind of take up all the time. That and Minecraft take up all the time I normally use for blacksmithing. Anyway, I've got a lot of background with this subject. One of the things that I do know is that the old original blacksmiths some of them would have a stone floor like this or a dirt floor. Some of them would also have a wooden floor or even wood chips on the floor, and that way if they had a spark or a hot ember that hit the ground, they would see it smoking in the wood chips, and that way they would know where it was so they could put it out or pick it up so that they could not start a fire in their shop, which seems kind of counterintuitive. You don't want wood on the floor if you're going to try to avoid a fire, but that was an easy way of telling whether or not there was something hot on the floor. We're going to go with the nice stone floor. Just get this all filled in. And I think this is kind of a little bit different than I usually do stuff. I usually build the walls up and then start looking at flooring, but this is going to give me an idea of what kind of layout I want, I think. Yeah, I've done quite a bit of blacksmithing. I've done bladesmithing too, which is a completely different subject, and that's what a lot of guys think of when they think of blacksmithing, that or shoeing horses. And I have to say right now, if you're not familiar with blacksmithing and you think all they do is shoe horses, that's actually somebody called a farrier. That's who shoes horses, not a blacksmith. Now, a lot of blacksmiths now also do farrier work, but there are T-shirts in the blacksmithing community that say, "I only shoe horses when they're in my way," stuff like that. Because that's pretty much the first question that people ask when they say, "Oh, I blacksmith," and they're like, "Oh, you shoe horses?" No. There's a lot of other stuff that's involved in blacksmithing, building, a lot of fixtures. I mean, the blacksmith historically would be somebody that you'd go to fix all of your farming equipment, your household needs, anything that's metal work, you would go to a blacksmith for. They were also the first bankers. There's an old saying that says a blacksmith, not a borrower be, because the blacksmiths were the first ones that people used to go to. They would have strong boxes where you could hold stuff, and they would act as like as a bank. They'd hold your stuff for a fee, and that turned into the banking system as we know it. And blacksmith is called a blacksmith because of the iron that he works, not for any other reason. There was it used to be just a smith, and then they became specialized into a goldsmith, a tinsmith, and people that worked with iron became blacksmiths. All right. That's it's looking pretty plain. I'm going to come back and fill this in with some other blocks as well. Let me see, what would this look like up here? It looks like I need it to go farther. Will that work? Or will that look weird? Like I said, don't have a set plan. No, I don't like that. But perhaps up here. Ooh, I don't have any more. Let's get a workbench set up really quick. Oh, there's some. Now I probably, now that I'm doing this in cobblestone, this is a blacksmith shop, and they're probably going to be relatively wealthy. So perhaps the stone blocks instead of cobblestone. Leave the cobblestone for the floor. Some nice stone blocks for the walls. That might look really nice, actually. Okay, we've got a kind of a style going here. That looks like it could use another timber there. Sorry for the animal noises. We're right here next to them. I listened to my last video and it got kind of annoying with all the mooing and oinking and stuff. But I think it kind of makes the video sound dead if I turn off all the sound. What am I setting at right now? 16. I'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. I can turn the music back on too. There we go. So it looks like I'm out of stone block, and I am coming up with a decent design pattern here. Looks a little odd, but give it a chance. It's just beginning to turn into something. Now, I don't know if you can tell with the recording, but it is actually quite a bit smoother right now, playing and recording, and that is because, I believe, because we are in, I can't tell there, we're in Minecraft 1.5.1, and there has been a big performance boost with that. I'm not sure. They found something that was causing lag, and this has made a huge difference. You can see right now I'm recording, so it's locked down to about 30 frames per second. But if I'm not, it's pretty good. It's like sitting about 90 for me. I don't know whether I need to keep this locked down to 30 frames per second. I wasn't really aware that I was doing that. I might get better recording quality if I don't. So I came up here because I want to get some stone. I had it cooking while we were working. I don't have any stone blocks, but I might grab some of the. I've got these from the stronghold that I've snagged while I was there, and been waiting for a good use for them. I could use them up here at the Citadel, but we're barely up here anymore. I mean, we're just grabbing supplies and looking around. If you're new to the to this series, this is my floating Citadel. And this is one of the first things we built in the Let's Play series. It's a big floating island, and over there's a floating island with a wizard's tower. I don't come up here much while I'm recording anymore, but that is what that looks like. So go back, check those videos out. It was a fun build, and the idea is it's supposed to be a wizard has pulled these, ripped these Citadel and Wizard's Tower from the earth and pulled them over here because he's trying to capture this village's power source, which is what they've built their temple around, which is that building over there. which was a more recent build. All right. I need a crafting table. Well, that's going to be unfortunate. Okay. I do this all the time. End up with an inventory just packed full of stuff. Oh, I love this feature of 1.5. That click and drag thing is so underrated. I've been playing a lot of Feed the Beast, if you follow that series. And that I really miss when I'm playing Feed the Beast. Which is saying something, because there's quite a few things which I wish were in normal Minecraft. They're only in Feed the Beast, but that is one of the features that I really hope gets ported over there really soon. Okay, have some more stone bricks. Let's fill this in and just see what it looks like. Now, one of the things we haven't done with any of our buildings is come out on the next floor and then build up. And I might like to do that with this one. I think that would look pretty nice, actually. Can't do that. I tell you what, it's almost like an entirely different game when you play Feed the Beast and then you come back to this. I feel like I'm moving in slow motion and I can't jump. I don't know if you've ever, if anybody's ever played on a trampoline and then got off the trampoline and felt like you're stuck to the ground because you can't jump very well anymore. That's very close to how I feel with coming back to the normal Minecraft here after playing Feed the Beast, because I've got a modular power suit on there that I can just fly. Well, literally I can fly, but I can also move at incredible speeds. Okay. Let's see what that's looking like. All right. It's getting there. It's turning into something. You may not think so yet, but yeah, see, that's a problem that I have not found that good of a solution to yet, which is when you've got an inside corner like that, when you have a post and beam framework. You know, I can hide the log on this side. I could also, I guess I could do something like that. But that doesn't look quite right. There's just not that good of a solution for it when you've got the walls that are the same thickness as the posts. Okay, so this is going to be the blacksmith workshop here. And I don't think I want big windows in here. I probably will put in another door. Actually, this should not be blocks. This should be some of these slabs. If we're using this as the style. It's almost nighttime. I know I need to go sleep. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Just like on our other buildings, I'm going to lay down a layer of wood here. along the perimeter of this secondary floor. The second floor. And then I'm probably going to go actually straight up from the corner here. Just give it kind of a cool medieval look. Take those. Oh, don't want that. Not sure why that did that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I think I want to... Actually, I probably want to cut this out. Make it like so. Alright, I'm going to sleep. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the walls almost done here. I'm just working my way around. I don't have a set pattern for where the logs end, which might look a little weird. Let me check and see what we've got going here. Probably this one went like so, yes. That makes sense. I'd like for it to kind of make sense when it's all said and done. But let's see, that goes there like so and so and so. But take that out because I think we're going to have a floor in here at this level. I went ahead and just filled those walls in entirely without leaving windows except for right here. Let's jump down in the front and see if we get any kind of ideas from what it looks like. I don't know if I like this right here, but I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. I'm talking about these two things of stone slabs over the main door there. All in all, it's starting to look like a pretty nice building. Yeah. That'll work. So I was talking before. I don't know if I ever finished. I don't think I ever finished talking about whatever it was I was talking about. I always get distracted. But I was talking about blacksmithing and blacksmiths. And if you are, I think a lot of people that play games like Minecraft or any kind of other fantasy role-playing games, imagine what it would be like to be a blacksmith and to make swords and to do stuff. And I haven't made any swords, if I could talk. But I've made several knives. I know all the basics about how to do it. And I have to say that the best thing you can do if you're interested in blacksmithing or becoming a blacksmith is look for a local group. Here, I live in one of the central states in the United States, and there's a statewide blacksmith group that I'm a part of. And it is, I have to say, the best resource I've ever found for any kind of hobby. They've got guys that have been doing stuff for, 40, 50 years that are in there. And it's a great thing to be part of. Now I haven't been an active member for a while. Like I said, I have young children, and it kind of puts a damper on things like that. But if you're thinking about it, go with an open mind. Go ready to learn, and don't think you know everything. There's a lot of stories out there about kids who show up to a blacksmith meeting or get online, even on the online forums, and want to make a sword. How do you make a sword? I want to make a sword. And people start telling them stuff, and they're like, yeah, I know all that. I saw Conan. I know all that stuff, but how do you make it? And I tell you what, it's not pretty much just like any other kind of craft. If you've seen it in a movie, you still know nothing about it at all. So go in with an open mind and go in realizing that you don't know anything about it, and just try to learn as much as you can. Because I tell you what, those kids who come in and say stuff like, yeah, I know all that, but how do you do this? It's like, well, I was telling you. I was telling you how to do that, and now I'm done talking to you. So, the making a sword is one of the more complex, involved crafts that anybody can get into. Bladesmithing uses a lot of the same tools as blacksmithing, but there's a lot of precision to it, and I have to say, when you're done at the forge, when you're done hammering the metal and working on it, you are probably maybe a quarter of the way done at the most. Now, I've got a lot of power tools that are specifically for bladesmithing. There's a lot of large, expensive power tools. There's people that can do it by hand, but it is a lot of work. And there's a lot of science and technique involved in that as well. Okay, that's looking like something. Something. I don't know if I like the logs ending there, but I really can't tell until I get the wall in and the roof on. Now, this is all stone basement here, and I'm thinking that I'm going to go with white wool for the top floor, like we did over here, kind of. Give it a wattle and daub type look. I believe that's what they call that. They used to do timber frame, and then in between the walls they would weave sticks into basically like a basket weave pattern, and then smear it with earth plaster and then a regular whitewash plaster, and that's where you got the white walls in between the posts. Okay, so I don't know if I have any wool. I'm going to go up and look, and if not, I'm going to go shear all those sheep on our little sheep paddock over there, and I'll be right back. Okay, well, there are a bunch of naked sheep over there because I had to go shear a bunch of them, but I'm looking at the clock, and I think we are pretty close to being out of time for this episode. So I'm going to just work my way around here a little bit, and then I'm going to call it done for the day. And we're not going to finish this episode, obviously, and I'm hoping I will probably actually, I'm thinking out loud here, but I think I'm going to leave it just about as it sits when we finish up and continue working on this next episode, because this is a pretty cool build and I want to make sure you guys see it. I think we can do some really cool stuff with some of the 1.5 automation in the hoppers and furnaces, and I want to set up a nice auto smelting setup where I can just come by, throw in whatever I want to cook or smelt, and it will filter it all down into the furnaces like it's supposed to, and grab from a supply of fuel, and that's all the wool I have. So let's just call it an episode here and step back, take a look, It's a little plain right now, but just like this one, it takes a little while after you get started. You got to rough it in first, and then come back in and put in some of the details and make it look good. So I'm gonna call it an episode there, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.